Hey everybody, it's JJ back again with more Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I'm back here on the main menu screen of my Switch here because I'm doing a little bit of exploring while I'm looking for my next team member, see if it actually spawns. And wouldn't you know it, the egg is actually hatching. It's about time too, but it's been a while. And here we go, Happiny. As I believe I said earlier, I'm not going to use Happiny in my party. It's not going to be my next team member, but I am actually looking for it while I was hunting for it, I guess. I'm actually gonna be going, not going anywhere. I'm gonna continue hunting for my next team member here in the underground, so I'll probably cut ahead until I can find it, alright? I'll see you guys then. I think I finally found it. Hey, there it is. My next team member is Munchlax. In the original Diamond and Pearl, Munchlax was a pain to get, and that's putting it lightly. The only way to get it is using the honey trees. And even then, on those honey trees, you have only 4 of them in Sinnoh can actually have a Munchlax, and the chances of those 4 trees even having a Munchlax is 1%. You have a better chance on those trees of finding nothing than finding a Munchlax. That being said, you can also have a chance of finding a Heracross, which is arguably just as good, if not better. But the reason I want to use a Munchlax is because I have never evolved. Oh my god, it has Fissure. I have never used a Munchlax or a Snorlax in a Sinnoh based game. Mostly because of how hard they are to actually find. Please don't poison it. Now, one thing though, even though I'm paralyzed, Roselia is still going first. And that's actually because Munchlax is tied for the lowest base speed of every Pokemon, with a base speed of 5. And can Stunspore land? For God's sakes. Thank you. Now there's no risk in Munchlax getting poisoned. that was my fear here. Munchlax already took a little while to find here. Speaking of, the way you find it here in the underground is it is a rare spawn in the spacious caves after you get Defog. I was confused because I wasn't sure if it was after you get the badge that lets you use Defog out of battle, or as soon as you get the TM for it. But thankfully, it's after you get the TM. Munchlax itself is slow, like I said, but it has some decent attacking power behind it, and when it evolves into Snorlax, some really good special defense. That being said, obviously there's some glaring flaws it has, but I do think because of how unique it is and how I've never really seen people use a Snorlax in Sinnoh besides competitive, I want to try using it on my team. I'm just hoping I can actually manage to catch it here. There's that special bulk for you. I'm using Struggle Bug instead of X-Scissor or Slash, just to make sure I don't crit it or deal too much damage at one time. Because I know with Struggle Bug, even if it deals a crit, it shouldn't KO. Like, it's doing no damage here. Now, even though it's lowering special defense, in Munchlax is not really using any special attacks, it is a competent special attacker, but I'm probably going to be sticking with physical attacks for my time using it. Let's try catching one more time. It's still in green, so it shouldn't work too well, but at least a better chance than before, excuse me. And there you go. It works. Our 5th team member. Manaphy gets a level up here, and Happiny gets a ton of levels. Uh, sure. I'll at least give it some moves before I box it. It's asleep in its picture here. That's amazing. It wolfs down its own weight in food. Imagine eating over 230 pounds of food in one day. As for a nickname, this is gonna sound either bad or just stupid, but I'm gonna name it Bubba. I don't know why. Just like the name. Bubba. He's funny, and I am very funny man. Ah ha 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 ha. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's head back up. But wait, wasn't I in Pastoria City last time I ended up the episode? I was. And I shouldn't probably play it off like I wasn't before, but whatever. But yeah, I flew over here to Hardhome City because I actually want to go explore the route south of Hardhome first. And since that route circles back over to Pastoria, I wanted to go that way. Gives us a chance to get more experience, and for me to show off Munchlax a little bit if I can. Speaking of... Actually, no, it's going to come later. There is an item I want to get for Munchlax coming up in the route below, but... And that's kind of why I wanted to go that area as well. So, without further being said, let's head on back there. Normally, this route would be blocked off to you once you reach Hardhome, but once you reach Veilstone and Pastoria, it opens up to you. And since it's also nighttime, I can battle these police officers here. These police officers are kind of like those joggers in the route to the east of Hardhome, where they'll battle you at certain times of day. As you can see here, since it's nighttime, they'll battle you. Did I rearrange my team at all? No, okay, I forgot I switched earlier. But yeah, because of the levels in this area, and not the levels, the location, I guess, I'm not sure if this route opens up to you once you are allowed to pass Hardhome or not, but typically they should be available to you once you reach Veilstone or Pastoria. So they're still going to be a little bit lower in terms of level, but once you get further down, they start catching up quickly. So for a little while, we're going to be breezing through here. But hey, Murkrow gets a level, and Monferno's not too far behind. Wants to learn Air Cutter. Special attack is the same as attack, and power's the same. Air Cutter has a chance to crit, but I feel like, knowing my luck with accuracy, we're gonna miss often. Don't use Nightshade too often either, but it does have its uses. I'm probably gonna use Thief more than Assurance because of the power points and the added bonus it gets. And it's one trainer down. I was debating whether to battle this trainer or not, and then because he's moving, I couldn't actually battle him. Back having moving trainers in this game with an actual controller rather than the D-pad on a DS, it makes encountering them a bit more wonky. That's just my opinion, though. Still, uh, having having the trainers be this low kind of reminds me of Johto, and I'll be honest, I'm not too fond of that. I love the Johto games, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to say Gen 2 is my favorite because it's not my favorite, but one of the major issues I have with Gen 2 that's a rather common issue is that a lot of the trainers, be them regular run-of-the-mill trainers like this, or even gym leaders, have rather low levels. I mean, some of the gym leaders are obviously higher than the average trainers, but just the pacing and the levels in Johto are really low. I mean, picking the order in which you battle the gym leaders is nice, but because of that, it kind of lowers the difficulty of the other trainers. Even the villains in that game are rather low leveled, and that kind of just affects the entire game as a whole. It doesn't make it worse, but it is a noticeable change, and and, and it's weird having it in Sinnoh solely because in Diamond and Pearl specifically, the late game is really high leveled. So having trainers like this is kind of odd to me. But I think on the bright side of this, this trainer does give us just enough experience to have Monferno reach level 36. And we'll see if it does. We're going to wait a little while because this Meditite wants to be annoying. But it's down, and there we go, level 36. And it wants to learn the move Close Combat. Honestly, one of my favorite moves in this entire series. It's a really powerful fighting type move that will deal a lot of damage, obviously, but it has the drawback of lowering the user's defense and special defense. And with Monferno being a glass cannon to begin with, it's a great move for it. They actually made it into a TR in Sword and Shield, which is really cool. Which means a lot of Pokemon that you wouldn't expect to get close combat can get it now. Munsdale and Arcanine get it by breeding, which is really interesting as well. But stuff like can't even think on the top of my head anymore. Fighting types that don't get it naturally, like Buzzwole, I think Machamp can get it now. Just a lot of rather unique Pokemon get the move now, and it's really cool to see that it's getting his attention. Because Diamond and Pearl here really just introduce us to some really cool moves. One interesting tidbit about these two trainers, though, the socialites, the madam and the gentleman over here, is that when you beat them, they give you a lot of money. So if you're looking to grind money in this game, this is probably one of your best bets. It's not a good battle for Manaphy here, so get the heck out of Dodge. And honestly, looking at Cricketune now, I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Anyway, looking at Cricketune now, it's kind of upsetting, but we're kind of getting close to the point where we're gonna have to box Cricketune. Not yet though. I will be boxing him when I have access to my last team member, which isn't for a while longer, but it's not that far away anymore. Look at that, 4,028. It's not the best in the world, but it's a pretty hefty amount. Also, I did not notice that the bag changes depending on the outfit, too. Huh. It's the little things like that that show that attention is given to some of these games. People will still complain and have valid criticisms for some of these things, but it just goes to show that when it comes to little details, attention is paid. Just gonna get some more experience here. I kind of wish I put Infernape in the front to get to show it off as a fully evolved Pokemon now, but maybe the next battle. Gentleman Jeremy here, if you didn't do the Buizel trade and somehow did not encounter a Chatot yet, I suppose you can consider him a trainer of interest. But by now, I think you should have been able to see one. Either by the in-game trade, or encountering in the grass to the east of Pastoria. They're not too difficult to find unless you're playing at night. chats out themselves in the wild, you can only find them in the daytime. Moving right along, have some more berries here. There is also a little bit of a country a little bit to the south of us right now, and remembering it just makes it feel so much better at the fact that we don't need to have cut on a Pokemon anymore. Amazing. Because if here there's Sunny Day. Sunny Day is a move that affects the weather, and which will power up fire type moves for 5 turns, allow you to use Solar Beam immediately, and weakens the power of water type moves for 5 turns as well. It's a bit niche for to use a weather type move in story, and I'm not going to use it, but if for whatever reason you're struggling against the next gym, which is a water type gym, you have that option available to you. Let's put Maestro up first here. One more thing about these police officers here, these police trainers, is that from what I'm remembering, this route that we're on right now, as well as down south, are one of 2 routes in the entire game that are available. And even then, I think on the only other route, there's only 1 of them. I think there's more in Johto. Actually, I don't think about it. Yeah, the police officers are only actually in rather 2 routes in both the Sinnoh games and Johto games, which is actually pretty interesting. Give me 1 second here. Sorry about that, folks. With my setup here, I'm sorry, but it's like there are other things I have to take care of. So there can be moments where there's a bit of background noise or other responsibilities I have to do. So I do have to move around a little bit, even during recording, which is embarrassing. But as I'm saying, I'm still learning. I hope I can at least provide some good content, or just entertaining content once in a while. It's embarrassing, but I need time to get better. Over here we have another double battle, and I believe for sure one of them is a trainer of interest. I know in Platinum this male is on a fancy imported bed. Oh, congratulations to you, the rich boy. That's what the trainer is. And no, he's not in this game. This is actually one of the times where, if I say in Platinum, it actually does have a difference. Because in Platinum, Rich Boy Jason is a trainer of interest. Because in that game, he actually has a Prinplup. Whereas here, he just has a Luxio. And seeing how some of the trainers here have different Pokemon now than I originally believed or I'm used to, is a bit surprising to me because it's not what I'm used to. I'm used to Platinum because I play that more, which is why I keep bringing it up, like I keep saying. I'm fairly certain we've seen a Monferno before in a different area, but I don't remember where. Once another synthesis, I think we're good. Did they change the animation for X-Scissor? I mean, I'm kind of used to the one from Sun and Moon more. I prefer that one, honestly. I don't remember what it looks like in Sword and Shield, but here it feels like it's newer. Whatever. Regardless of that, in this building here is the Backlot Mansion. We have a few things to do here. Over here in the back area is the Trophy Garden. There's not too much to do in this area. There is some wild encounters here, but they're pretty much the same as what we've encountered so far, with the added bonus of now having Pikachu and Pichu available to us. So if you wanted to catch those Pokemon, now's your chance. In these trash cans, there are some hidden items, so it does benefit you to come over here. And I'm not sure if you can actually sleep in these beds. You could in the original games, but I don't know if you can do so here. And here we go. This is the item I wanted to get here, the Soothe Bell. This item, if you give it to one of your Pokemon, raises the amount of friendship that they get over time. So doing stuff like battling or even just walking can raise the friendship of that Pokemon. And because we have a Pokemon here that evolves by friendship, excuse me, if I can find the item, here it is. I'm going to give that to Munchlax for now, so just to help it evolve. Because once it does, we're going to have a bit of a powerhouse. There is one more item here, and I guess you can't sleep in the beds. And that item is right here. Oh. Okay, so this might be a change from the original game to this game, or maybe I'm just misremembering, but I thought that was a luxury ball. The luxury ball is another unique Pokeball that, when you use it on a Pokemon, it raises their friendship further. And over here, we have Team 87 Swagger. Swagger is a rather good competitive move that raises your opponent's attack 2 stages, but also confuses them. It's understandable if you don't want to end up raising your opponent's attack power, but when you confuse them, they end up doing more damage to themselves, which is really beneficial. But as I said, because you're raising your opponent's attack, and if they break out of confusion, it can end up doing more harm than good, especially if they're a physical attacker. We'll be visiting the Trophy Garden a bit later on during post-game, but for now, that's all we can do here. So let's move on ahead. Hidden item back here. It's an elixir, and it's a little bit hard to see, but on the left of the screen you can see a berry tree over there. We'll be going to that when we have access to Surf, which is a little bit of a while later. Another change from this game to Platinum is that of these two trainers here, well, both of them I think are actually trainers of interest. In this game, I'm not too sure. Okay, so they still are to a degree. I'm fairly sure we've seen Apom, but aside from the rival, we haven't seen Prinplup at all. So yes, these trainers are trainers of interest. And now that we've gone into this area with the rain, these trainers have gotten a little bit tougher with the higher levels, and in the rain, Manphy's Bubble Beam gets powered up. So, yeah, they're gonna do a lot of damage. And with them being higher leveled now, even though Kricketune is level 35, part of me still thinks to myself, am I gonna be able to KO them? Another Prinplup. I could have sworn they had something different, but it is what it is. No big deal. I'm pretty sure Manaphy will not get this KO solely because Mero's a bit bulky. But again, no big deal. We have Quick Claw and Slash. And even then, Manaphy's a beast. In the rain too, does it KO? It still does. Manaphy cannot be stopped, even with this hindering nature. It makes me wonder what it's going to be like when we reach the end of the game with Manaphy having better moves. With us being in this swampy area as well with the rain, the encounters do change. But regardless, stuff like Rickatoon is still available here. You can actually, I believe, catch a wild Wooper and Quagsire outside of the marsh. And again, like in Platinum, you can actually catch a wild Krogunk. I don't believe they're available here, but they are available in the underground if you want to catch one outside the Great Marsh, which is understandable because with the Great Marsh being a Safari Zone clone, and Pokemon being able to run away, it can be a bit frustrating. One thing I do also remember is that these Kadabra over here by these scientists do have access to unique moves like Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, and Ice Punch. I don't know if they still have it in this game, but I don't even think they're going to be able to survive this attack, so we might not even be able to see it. Yep, bodied. And there we go. We're also coming up on one other major change in this game as opposed to Platinum. I know I keep saying that and I apologize for it, but this change is actually relevant because in the original Diamond and Pearl, this was also not in there. We're coming up is a house if we can actually get to it without an encounter. But in that house, I'll explain a little bit more once we're able to get to it, and of course another encounter here. Brigatune, go away. Go away. They have my weed. Let me live. This is the third time I said that in this whole series. But it's relevant. Okay. I believe it's actually the last policeman on this route too. Either this or there's one more. Although, does that guy have like 2 flashlights? Or is that like a baton that's a flashlight? Is that an actual thing? Pretty sure it is, but it's weird to look at. In his old Gen 4 sprite, the police officers look like they're just holding a flashlight at you and having a regular baton. Which is threatening, don't get me wrong, but if that baton was the second baton was a flashlight, then it looked a little bit awkward. They want to see your face twisted in pain. Actually, let me stop. These are police officers, and I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. Ugh. What have I done? I'm already too in deep. Let's just finish the battle. I'm mashing A. Quick, let's get out of here. Okay, we're out. Crisis averted. Okay, so in this area, I'm not sure about that collector, but there is a few important items here. In this area, these slopes here too. TM62 Bug Buzz. Huh. I noticed they did make that a TM in this game. But yeah, these slopes right here, you can only go across them on the bicycle, and I believe only when it's on the faster gear? No, I think it's actually available regardless. But yeah, those, I think they're fallen logs, that's what they call them. We can only go across them on the bikes. Fun fact about this trainer right here, he only has Geodudes now, but in Platinum, I keep bringing it up again. There's so many differences in Platinum, but in those games, this trainer actually has Espeon and Umbreon, which is in addition to what the collector from down south of Veilstone between that area and Lake Valor. Another collector has the 3 other evolutions of Kanto, being Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon. So that's there to compensate. And one of those Pokemon Rangers that we battled earlier has a Leafeon. I don't think a trainer has Glaceon until the snowy area, which we won't get to for a while. And by the time we actually go into that area, we'll have our full true team. I also did not expect to see Munchlax here level 29, already almost caught up with the team. I'm fairly certain our last team member will not have that luxury, and will not be in battle for a while. I'm pretty sure they're going to be at a low level by the time we reach them. But no big deal. Bit of work and they'll catch up just fine. As for the TM we picked up though, Bug Buzz, it is a very solid bug type move it's a special attack, and with it being a sound based move, it can actually go through Substitute, which is a very useful thing. This is just a shortcut. And I'm not sure if it's that item down there or the TM we just picked up, but I think in the original games that TM would have been Poison Jab. I might be thinking of the one that's on that surf area, but we'll see when we get access to surf. As for these three down here, I believe regardless of of all 5 versions of Sinnoh, one of these has a Barboach and a Gyarados. There's Barboach here. I'm not sure if they're on the same party or not, but I do remember seeing both those Pokemon on this specific area here on this route. I thought it would be higher leveled here. Am I that over leveled? I know the gym trainers should be on the same level as Maylene's gym, so I might be over leveled. I'm gonna say it again. In Platinum, Crasher Wake was for sure the 5th gym, since Fantina was not available until... Well, in Platinum, Fantina is the 3rd gym. Maylene is 4th, and then Crasher Wake is 5th. And Crasher Wake would actually be level 37 for his ace. So we would actually... And if we were playing Platinum, we would be just around the correct level. But with this being a remake of Diamond and Pearl, I'm not sure if we're over-leveled or not, but I'm fairly certain we are. Especially with our starter fully evolved now. At the way things are going now, with levels, in the next area available to us, after we get our next gym badge, I think that those trainers are going to be in their mid-20s. Maybe like late 20s at most, but I don't see them going into their 30s until we get Surf. Which does put a bit of a strain on us in terms of grinding, but we do have the Versus Seeker at this point, so if we need to, we can go back and challenge trainers that are decent leveled and get more experience that way. There are also a fair few amount of trainers in the gym, so it's also a bit of experience. But with them being, I think, late 20s at the highest, it won't be too high or too much experience. But we'll see when we battle those trainers. We actually don't have too much left in this route, so once we actually manage to beat everybody and get everything in this route in terms of items, we'll be ready for the gym battle for sure. And honestly, if I'm remembering correctly about Diamond and Pearl 4th gym battle, excuse me, it should not be too tough at all. Even, again, I think I mentioned this a little bit, spoilers, it's a water gym. With that being the case, I think even Infernape here should not have too much trouble. I mean, I'm not going to leave him in to battle a water type, but in the event that we do use Infernape, it should not be too bad. Honestly, I think even Kricketune here could do a good job. Since the gym leader's around level 30, and we're already level 36 for most of the team here, we should be fine. And I think I was wrong. Unless this guy is the Gyarados. Nope, I was right. I just hope this Gyarados is not as tough as the last one we faced, because Waterfall and Ice Fang that early. Jeez. It's level 21 though, which isn't the worst. And Slash still did around half. It has Waterfall. Oh boy. I should have honestly seen this coming with how difficult this game has... Not difficult, but the challenge it's proven to contain. Because they're not being they're not playing around with some of these movesets. Waterfall on a Gyarados level 21. We've seen Machoke with Earthquake and Bulldoze already. Roark had a Bulldoze. So yeah, they're really not playing around with some of these movesets. And Kricketune wants to learn Fell Stinger. Fell Stinger is an interesting move. It's not too terribly weak, but its main claim to fame is that when you use it to knock out a Pokemon, your attack goes up 3 stages, which is really good. And I think I'm actually going to use that and take off Struggle Bug finally. With Kricketune having a limited time left on our team, I want to make it so it has the best time possible and can actually put in some work. I mean, it's already put in a ton of work for the early game thus far, and has been a great member of the team. But I want to let it have a fitting send off. Now, this house right here, in Platinum, this is a move tutor house, where the amount of shards you have will allow you to trade in those shards for movesets. For new moves, I mean. Here, those shards are actually for TMs. If you find 10 shards of the same color, you can trade those for a weather-based TM. It's still useful, but I would say not as useful as some of the moves that they get you for that move tutor, because those are some really good moves. You'd get the Elemental Punches, Icy Wind, not the strongest in the world, but very technical. And that's why competitive is so technical. They make use of a lot of the niche effects of moves, some of the... Obviously there's high power moves as well, like Hydro Pump, Earthquake, etc. But the effects of moves play a large role in competitive battling. Which is why some of those move tutor moves were so useful. And even if you're not doing competitive, some of those moves that they give you are actually really good for the main story as well. Like giving Thunder Punch to Infernape. What else was there? Giving Swift to some Pokemon that are able to learn it, and if you need to face a foe that has evasion moves, there's always something for everybody. And I think that's why Pokemon as a whole has gotten so popular. There's always some certain aspect of the games, the anime, the manga, that appeals to somebody in some way, either back then or it's still today. Didn't mean to go all philosophical and emotional here, but sometimes what can you do? And miss, we are raining. Why would you put your umbrella down? Gonna get wet. What's wrong with you? And yeah, we're actually about to get, but we're reaching the end of the route here now. There's not much left here. Here, I think we're actually able to get the TM for Toxic in the original games, but they may have moved it because Toxic is a very, very good move, and getting it at this point seems a little broken. It's still only one TM, but one move can make a huge difference. And is that it right there? Yep, TM06 Toxic. So they did move it just to a different spot on the same route. The lady down there is actually not a trainer. In the original games, certain spots in the mud will actually make you sink, which was annoying, and you had to like mash the D-pad to get out. I don't think it's in this game, since I haven't really encountered it yet. This trainer here is also a trainer of interest as well, as he was the only one in Platinum to have a Carnivine. He also did have Luxio, which I think also had Thunderbolt for whatever reason. I don't know if it still has it in this game, I doubt it, but we're gonna see, and knowing Brilliant Diamond, it might. So let's get Nighthawk out of here. Tackle, okay. So maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but we'll see. I was expecting it though. And that's probably the scariest part. One down. And we at least got one level out for Munchlax this time. And it looks like no, it just has a Weasel. can't remember if we had it in the original Diamond and Pearl. Oh, and they gave Weasel Bite now. Huh. I know its evolution Floatzel has access to Crunch and Ice Fang, but you don't get those moves until it evolves, obviously. And even then, they were like level 1 moves. Weasel originally has Pursuit, but because that move is no longer in this game, I guess they had to give it some sort of Dark type coverage. We at least got 1 level there. And with the amount of movement we've done, walking around, biking, battling these trainers, I have not used Munchlax at all yet, but every little bit of happiness does help it. Some more berries here. Some Pecha berries are always going to be useful. These Pineapple berries here are just for contests, so don't stress too much about those. I'll collect them just in case I want. I have not covered Poffins yet, or the contests, at this point of recording. So if I do, when I do get the chance to, I'll use one of these Pineapple berries here. But there's also one hidden path, and you get a revive, which will be very useful in case this gym battle goes awry. And even though we're pretty much done with the route, there is one more area. If you noticed above that house, there was a bit of, I think there's one item and there's a Pokeball, an item, same thing. But there's also 1 or 2 trainers, I believe, up here. Next special attack. Just 2 trainers. So a little bit more. I believe that the Parasol lady over there has the AB barrel, and this guy just has Abracadabra. Abracadabra, Alakazam. Now, just like every other Abra we've seen so far, this Abra here has a unique move, but we're not going to be able to see it. Because, bodied. Next up, Kadabra, as I figured. And just like your little brother, bodied. It all goes down the same way. Bodied. Nice level up there for Murkrow. And 1 trainer down, 1 more to go. Yeah, wild encounter. Barrel, get out of the way. Leave me alone. Murkrow levels up though. I think we'll get move out of the front. Put Roselia back up there. When it rains, you get happy. When it rains, I get annoyed. I like looking at the rain from my window, but I hate being out in the rain. Give me a mug of hot chocolate in either, I guess, spring or fall, and just watch the rain. Moments like that are fun, are just nice, peaceful. Do you guys like the rain? Let me know in the comment section. If you guys like the rain, snow, summer, heat, it's always good to know what people like. Get you like asking around like some questions like that help you I guess learn about other people, get different points of view. Making this sound super awkward, but I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from here. And yeah, that's actually the end of the route here. We're back onto the mud area, and that's it. Oh, okay, you still can't step in here, but I guess you can escape if you move around the thumbstick. It's not a random chance to fall in there either. There are certain spots that you actually can fall into, and I know for sure there should be a hidden item over here. Hyper Potion. Ugh. I'm gonna be honest, again, I'm bringing it up again. This little patch of mud here was so much better in Platinum, solely because you had less of a chance. You can actually see where the deep mud was. Here, you really can't. Ether, always helpful. And I think that's it here for now. Ugh, get me out of here. Let me out. Let me out. Rounding off here, back in Pastoria City, is there? Yeah, there's a hidden item right over here. If I can find it. There we go. Full heal. I keep forgetting to put that party screen back up here, but it's no big deal. But with everything said and done, like I said, we're finally back here in Pastoria City. And with our team the way it is now, I'm pretty certain we'll be able to beat this gym with no difficulty. It's a water type gym. We have Roselia, and even though we only have 10 power points on Giga Drain, I don't think I'm going to use Roselia until we actually reach the gym leader. And with that being the case, we're going to have Giga Drain be up front. Roselia is going to be pretty much our secret weapon. And Seafoam can't really do much here either, so we're going to leave them to the side. There is one Pokemon Manaphy might be able to battle, but that's not going to be to the end of the gym. Or unless it'll part ground type. But for now, I think I'm going to call today's an episode. I'll call it an episode, excuse me. And next time on Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, we'll head into the Pastoria Gym. See you guys then.